saying you can't recognize this fresh. You never have recognized this fresh. You're not really saying what you think you're saying, is what I'm saying. But now that all of that was said, you're right, the journey. You're right about listening or hearing. The sense of hearing, he said, the sense of hearing. He was right to say that. He was right as he said it, and he was right for saying it. Period.
But the truth is that these truths, these commandments that we're given, are simply laws of our own nature. When you put your hand against a hot stove, it hurts. There's no intention on the part of the stove to hurt you. But there is a law that protects you from that kind of pain, lest you destroy your hand in touching heat. You see, when you go against your nature, you have erred, you have strayed from that nature, and you're bound to suffer the consequences in terms of disharmony. You hurt your brother, he's your own self. You're really hurting yourself in hurting him. And the commandments were given to us to help us to know, with a minimum of pain, what the laws of nature are, what the laws of our life are. Not that God whimsically ordained that we do this or do that, but that these truths were given to us to know how we ought to behave if we are to find the fulfillment that we all look for. If you kill another person, you're really killing something in yourself. And I could put that on many levels, but I don't have the time to do it now. Sin is really that. It's a mistake. And I would say that we should not. I think this is a great mistake that Christians make in saying, I'm a sinner. It's true to say I have sinned. But to identify myself with that sin is what I am saying when I say I'm a sinner. I would rather say I'm a child of God. I have erred, let me do right in future. Yogananda used to say the greatest of sins is to call yourself a sinner, because that's identifying yourself with that error. Okay? Well, we've got some ground to cover. My God, we've got ground to cover. You realize what time it is? Oh, well, I don't know. Okay, let me just teach you one technique. It'll help you very much. All of the creation of this universe, in the Indian Upanishads it says, rests on one simple reality, which is epitomized in the mantra, Hang Sa. The Upanishads, the Indian scriptures say, God created all things by this mantra. Creation of this universe. In the Indian Upanishads it says, rests on one simple reality, which is epitomized in the mantra, Hang Sa. The Upanishads, the Indian scriptures say, God, the Indian Upanishads it says, rests on one simple. All of the creation of this universe, in the Indian Upanishads it says, rests on one simple reality, which is epitomized in the mantra, Hang Sa. The Upanishads, the Indian scriptures say, God created all things by this mantra, meaning, I am He. He brought things into individual manifestation, but that individual manifestation is still a part of Him, just as the waves on the ocean are all a part of the ocean. And so this idea of I, meaning individual egos, the individual particularizations of His consciousness, are a part of Him. God brought this whole universe into outward manifestation and then dissolved it back into Himself after a long period of time, trillions of years. And they speak of these as the days and the nights of Brahma. And this I am He relates to that constant, you might say, respiration reflection of God, bringing everything out of himself, dissolving everything back into himself. And this breathing process you will find in all things manifested. All things are dual. Every positive has a negative, every up has a down, every in has an out. There's male and female, there's light and darkness, there's pleasure and pain, there's heat and cold. Everything, there's summer and winter becoming summer again, and there's inhalation and there's exhalation. You find the waves coming up on the shore and being dissolved back into the ocean again. If you trace everything back, you'll find that all things form a part of this constant rhythm, this movement from one pole to the opposite pole, this movement from light to darkness to light again, male, female, energy moving back and forth, waves coming up and going back, the universe coming out from God and going back into God. The whole universe is partakes of this constant rhythm of between dual opposites that we in our own lives experience as respiration, breathing. And this technique is partly to help you to enter into that universal rhythm and into that universal reality, this I am he, this individual is a manifestation of the infinite and dissolves ultimately back into the infinite. And partly it's not only a reminder of that infinite rhythm that you're a little part of with the little rhythm of your own respiration, but it's also to help to make you more conscious of what you're doing all the time. Because it's only when we're completely conscious of what we are right now that we can transcend that and become something higher, something greater.
This is so
this
good.
Technique involves simply watching the breath and then trying to feel that that breath is a part of this infinite
Really good
rhythm.
chocolate.
And to say with that breath,
It's really good chocolate.
I am he. To use the rhythm of the mantra. The mantra means certain seed sounds that have power.
The ice cream's all right.
To use that rhythm to enter into the cosmic rhythm. Hung Sa, literally in Sanskrit, the words would be pronounced aham saha. Aham is the ahankara, the ego. This ego, saha, is he. But you know when you ring a bell, there's this ringing sound that sort of goes out into the infinite. And so there are certain seed sounds, bija mantras they call them, to make that ego a seed sound that helps to dissolve the ego rather than affirming the ego. Instead of saying aham, to make it a mantra, they say hung. Hung. As you say hung, feel that you're not only concentrating on the ego, but dissolving it outwardly, so that it loses its self-definition and expands into the self that is everything. When the breath comes in, yogis say that it automatically is making that sound hung. When it goes out on an astral level, automatically it's making the sound sa. So as the breath comes in, you're anyway, on some level of your consciousness, making that sound hung. But try to say it consciously. Watch the breath. Don't try to breathe deliberately, but watch the breath flowing in, and as it does so, follow it all the way mentally, not out loud, mentally with the chant hong, H-O-N-G. Feel that as the breath is coming in, and as you say hong, that you're affirming this sense of I, but at the same time expanding that sense. And then as the breath goes out of its own accord, follow it mentally with the chant Sa, S-A-U. Feel this breath going out, and as it does so, feel that you're offering that sense of self into him. I am he. Hung.
Oh, yeah.
Each time then, as you reaffirm hung, it's more with that thought that he is I, isn't it? So try to feel that this hung is no longer you as a unique individual, but that universal ego, the universal man, is being affirmed in this little body. Hung. Offered back into the infinite. So each time you say hung, it will be with a more spiritual consciousness. Each time you say saw, it will be more and more with the thought that you're returning to your own nature. Now, if the breath should stop and you're not breathing for a while, don't be afraid. Rather, enjoy that breathless pause for a while. Enjoy.
Code, you need to get those items sent to you. And so that brings up one other point that we'll reiterate a few times. Where some of these items we literally only have one. A few of them we only have three. And when I say that, it's because we're trying to limit it to say, well, no, in the process of making some of the other products that we made that and then changed and went on to something else. Okay. Well, in order to keep things as simple and as fair for everybody as possible, when we're going to call and when we're going to do our live sell at noon tomorrow, it's basically first come, first serve as we present the items. Okay. And I know the questions are going to come, so I'm trying to address it right now. Well, what if I buy one and then I see someone else I want to buy? Then I got to pay double shipping. The answer is for a very short period of time. Okay? Because if you happen to be one of those people that decide that you want more than one of the things that we have during our live sale or during the vault or whatever, we will refund your shipping if those purchases are only on the same day, so we can combine your orders. So we're not going to take advantage of the situation and make you pay double or triple shipping. So, and we'll take care of that automatically, so don't worry about it. You don't have to contact us. If you make multiple purchases, especially during the live sale, we have a limited number of items. We're going to be watching them carefully. Anyone that makes more than one purchase, we're going to just automatically refund.
Good morning. This over here late afternoon. Morning self stabilizes, but it also challenges. But challenge stabilizes. A challenge polarizes. A stabilization polarizes because you just can't have one without the other. It's like duality, like both. And we have this death scenario going on. Incredible. It's just, and then we come to these services to do that. Healing, knowing, accomplishing. Accomplishing, knowing, healing. Accomplishing, healing, now. Healing, knowing, accomplishing. Yeah. And what am I doing? Acting. We do what we know something. But at least the steps along the way I'm gonna know how to do. If I know I have to boil water, I know how to boil water, so I boil water. You get my drift. What do we need to know? Requires healing. Perhaps, yes, there are these
You're back. Oh, yeah, clear as the glasses on my face! Fuck! Goddamn blind woman. I guess I should have compassion for her. Boom! 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 Go to work. Yo, just breaking doors, breaking down barriers. Damaged goods. Damaged goods. Yeah, damaged goods.